Okay, a product owner assigns specific user story specific backlog items to individual team members. How do I react? Well, it depends how my day's going. I'm going to react one of two ways. I'm going to laugh at it, okay, and say that's not your job. I'm just going to point out to a product owner, you're here to talk about what they're doing, why they're doing it, and when they're doing it. Not how. That is almost project manager-like in the you're going to do this and you're going to do this, that traditional stereotypical PM assigning work to devs. It's on the developers to work out who's working on what. And they are better placed. We as product owners aren't brilliantly placed going into surgery to tell the surgeons and the team how to do their job. Why do we think that we can do that with developers in a Scrum team? Okay, if you think about it, when you're on the table in surgery, you're absolutely the product owner. There's probably nobody more invested in a successful outcome than you. But the developers, the surgical team, know how to do it. They decide that. And we don't get in the way because we're not trained to have that conversation. Now, as a product owner, 9 times out of 10, you're not trained to have that conversation. You may have strong opinions. That's okay. Whether they're valid or not is a different conversation. You can have the opinions. You can voice the opinions. And the developers may or may not take them into account because they're not only thinking about the efficiency of delivery. They're thinking about the effectiveness of the team. Okay? You might have a good idea. It may be that we're going to give that work to John because he's the best at it. But the teams may say, yes, but John's going on holiday next week, so it doesn't make sense to give him that. Instead, we're going to give it to Paul. And Paul's going to work with John and upskill so that we've got that covered. They recognise something that the product owner maybe hasn't. Okay? It's on the developers. So if you have a product owner who is assigning work to people, question why. Is it because they're also a developer and they're a leader and they've got good opinions? Or is it because they're used to telling people what to do? That is the organisational norm, in which case we need to push back. Respectfully, but firmly, no, it's not your job. Okay? Product owner needs to understand you're here to help us work out what is most valuable to the customer, when to do it, who to talk to, all of these incredibly important questions. Okay? But as developers, they need to work out how, and a key part of that is who is doing it and why that person this time round, because maybe it's not a sensible thing to go as quickly as possible. Maybe sometimes we need to slow down to be a more resilient team, to transfer skills, because the skill set isn't in that person. Whatever the reason, they will know, and we have to trust them to be able to do their job. If you've got to this point in the video, I hope you've enjoyed it. If so, a like would be appreciated. If you want to hear more from me, more answers to questions that maybe you've got in the Agile world, please subscribe to the channel. And if you've got a question that you really want answered, drop it in the comments. I promise we'll get around to it. Thank you.